What is up, everybody? It's your boy Phil Shocker, the 96 Hedgehog here with our Week 4 PSBA Team Builder. As of recording this battle, I have not recorded this battle. Recording this Team Builder, I have not played Week 3 yet. Yeah, obviously, you guys will see that we have played Week 3, but we are looking at a very tough matchup going against Rick. If you guys don't remember who we faced last season, Rick was a coach that really made a few misplays on us and just generally kind of forgot about some things. He forgot to make his Lapras Gigantamax, which means he was forced to switch out his Lapras so he couldn't keep it. He made a mistake, I think, on a few things potentially. I don't know. But I think he's looking to bounce back. I don't think he's won yet as of right now, so he still has good chances to make the playoffs. But this is a very tough matchup for us just because there's a lot of preparation, a lot of here and there, what's or this and everything. We're both carrying 10 mons, so we both could be pretty much predictable here this week. But let's go ahead and break down Rick's team. He's got Mega Gardevoir, Silvally, which can be any type of form he wants it to be. Rotom Heat, Hippowdon, Skarmory, Kyurem, Dragapult, Gyarados, Virizion, and Lycanroc Midnight form. One of my own personal favorites. So looking at his team, I don't think Lycanroc Midnight form makes any sense in this matchup. I can kind of see where he wants to bring Virizion, but again, I have a superior right there, which can basically wall one hit and basic revenge with hidden power fire potentially as well. So there's that. Gyarados has some merits to come, but again, I don't think Gyarados really makes that much sense versus my team. It's forced to be running like Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Waterfall move, and then some type of coverage potentially. But I think the coverage I have on my team is really good. There's a decent chance we can see it. Now, believe it or not, I'm actually not expecting Dragapult to come to this matchup. Now, this is a very big reach of a thing to say. But let me explain why Dragapult is a mon that still kind of can come, but should not come. I have two dark types in the form of Alolan Muk and Umbreon. Amazing counters, and the only things that he has to counter his team for Umbreon is Mega Gardevoir, and then for Muk is Hippowdon. There is no way he can be able to weaken down the fact that one, Pursuit's allowed, so I can easily trap that thing easily and basically knock that thing out. It cannot primarily beat these two 1v1. If you also think, I have a Spectre that can run the Cassette Berry and knock that thing out guaranteed, or run this thing Choice Scarf or anything else, and then be able to get behind sub potentially as well, and just click a button, which guaranteed knocks it out. And it's because most likely he's not going to run a max speed variation, so I could run potentially a Choice Scarf set and just basically put in the work as well. And I have Mamoswine. Mamoswine hard checks it with Ice Shard. It can live any one hit, Ice Shard revenges it, and knocks it out. So and then there's a Magearna. Magearna, its only best move to hit me with is either Shadow Ball or Flamethrower. Other than that, it can't beat or do much against my team, so I'm really not expecting Dragapult to come. I expect him to want me to prepare for Dragapult and bring stuff like Mug, maybe Umbreon as well, something like that, and then him to have him counter that. But again, I don't think Dragapult comes. It'd be very risky of him to bring that, in my honest opinion. So, looking at his team, though, I think Mega Gardevoir makes a lot of sense. Mega Gardevoir offensively is very good versus my team. With the access to Mystical Fire, it actually can help against certain things like Magearna 1v1 or Hidden Power Fire. Excuse me. It's also one of those good mons that can actually go 1v1 against Necrozma potentially. Um, Looking at Savali is either going to be Savali normal, Savali dark, guaranteed this matchup. It goes if it's Savali dark. In my honest opinion, I think it straight up loses. Well, it doesn't straight up loses, but it loses to a good amount of stuff on my team. However, with Savali normal, it gives him a better way to kind of handle things like Spectrier more better, because it then forces me to run things like Dark Pulse and be able to kind of try to 1v1 it that way. But honestly speaking, I think Savali comes as Savali normal. I think it matches up better against my team as a Savali normal, where if it's Savali dark, it kind of can't beat a certain amount of things on my team as a dark type. Like, it just offers another kill for Magearna. It offers up itself to pretty much be hit by every single thing on my team for super effective to neutral damage. So I feel like normal opens up the door. Excuse me, better and be able to run also like an assault vest set potentially as well, or any kind of defensive variations and stuff like that. So I just felt like that's more normal. Rotom Heat definitely comes. It could be somewhat offensive. It could be defensive. It could be Will-O-Wisp. It could be specs. It could be setup. I don't know exactly what this Rotom wants to do. But Rotom is very annoying for our team offensively because it is a fantastic Magearna check. It's actually a relatively good Mammoth check, and it's also a good Superior check. There's a good things on this team that he checks. Hippowdon, you may be thinking it's a little weird for him to bring Hippowdon, but I could see him bringing Hippowdon just for the fact that Hippowdon really kind of just walls Magearna if it doesn't get boost. It also walls Spectre from Special Dive. You can also be able to wall things like Mamoswine. It also walls things like the Necrozma. I think overall this thing's very annoying for our team to face, and plus with him not really having a good role therapy user, he can just pretty much spread toxics against our team. So it's also a relatively good beginner to check, like I said before as well. Skarmory, I definitely expect Skarmory to come. Skarmory is very, very annoying for our team. Skarmory has decent chances to kind of wall out on any kind of variation of Magearna potentially. As long as we don't have the coverage, it can actually wall out things like Necrozma. It can wall out things like Superior, but he has to be careful of Hindenburg Fire. Other than that, we have some other good decent options to it, but it does get access to coverage things like Body Press, which can be really annoying. Also, Whirlwind with Stealth Rocks can be very, very annoying for our team as well in that type of situation. And I think last but not least, I think Kyurem comes. Kyurem offensively is very, very hard for me to switch into. I think the combination of Freeze Drive plus Flash Cannon plus Earth Power and then Dragon Move makes so much sense versus my team. Freeze Drive just because we're able to hit the Superior. Dragon Move just a strong Dragon Step. Earth Power to hit things like Volcanion and our Magearna. Flash Cannon because Flash Cannon is actually really good to hit something like Mamoswine, which probably would like to get hit more of that than the Dragon Boot potentially. It could be a Boots Kyurem set as well, but I can actually see potentially specs on this thing. It just really comes down to what Kyurem set he thinks is more viable versus my team in that type of regard. So, but looking at our team, let's go ahead and break it down. We're first bringing back Royalty this week. Royalty is very, very good this game. We are bringing Yachi Berry with Leaf Storm, Dragon Pulse, Hidden Power Fire, and Defog, 140 HP, max special attack, 152 in speed. This guarantee outspeeds Gardevoir. I didn't bother speed creeping for the Virizion because Virizion, all it can do is click a fighting type move against me. But if it does the fighting type move, it just invites Necrozma to come in, which is relatively good. So, but with the Yachi Berry, I can take if it's Choice Scarf Kyurem, I can guarantee live one Ice type hit, Leaf Storm to get the +2, and then I can just Dragon Pulse it, knock it out. Hidden Power Fire is there specifically just for Skarmory, as long as it's boosted. We need Rotom shipped a little bit for Leaf Storm, then to go in and basically pick up a 2, basically in terms of 2 AKO with the first Leaf Storm, contrary boost in the second. I am packing Defog on there just in case he does try to set up Stealth Rocks on my team, because Rocks really don't annoy my team, it only really annoys my Volcanion. But just having at least a way to remove hazards, especially if he's trying to build any type of screen variation team as well, just to really stop that in his tracks as well. Up next, we're bringing my Hula Mula. My Hula Mula has a fantastic matchup this week, running Steam Eruption, Toxic, Flash Cannon, Flamethrower, 116 HP, max special attack, 16 in the depth, 124 in speed. The speed guarantees me I am faster than 0 speed Kyurem and faster than 0 speed Savali, which is very important, as they can be mons that can play very much defensive roles against me in this matchup. But being faster than those two is very, very important. I could have potentially run Modest, but I feel like having some bulk was more important. Steam Eruption is essentially free versus about everything on his team, and pretty much free burn chances are good. We do have Toxic or any potential switches of things like Rotom, of Kyurem, Hippowdon, and stuff like that. Flash Cannon is there to check both Gardevoir and Kyurem from an offensive switching perspective, and I kind of don't need Flamethrower, but I think having Flamethrower as a safety precaution for that Kyurem and also for the Virizion, if it does potentially come as well, is a very good backup option as well. I expect Hulu to hopefully put in some good work and pick up a couple kills new. We are going to bring back Pegasus this week, and you maybe ask yourself, why bring Pegasus when there is potential Silvally Dark? The thing is, if he's Silvally Dark, it actually helps me a little bit more because that means like roughly 4 to 5 of my 6 mons then can be able to handle that more better. If it's Silvally normal, this actually helps me still. We're running Nasty Plot plus Sub because even though Sub is risky, I will admit, but basically this is to hopefully get a sub up before the Silvally comes in. And if Silvally comes in, I instantly know what set that is. And if I can instantly know what Silvally spread he is, whether it's normal or dark, then I can pinpoint what I need to do to kind of counteract that thing. And what's good about running this is then I can get some free Dark Pulse chip, exactly find out if he is a Spadef variation or if he's an offensive variation. We're at 136 HP, 36 in the defense. And actually, I think just to make sure we have an even number for the sub, I'm going to run that, do that. Just to make sure we can kind of get even number for subs. We're running max special attack. We're running 84 speed with timid nature. We could have ran modest this week potentially, but I think timid was just more so I could get some bulk for Spectre. Leftovers are there just to keep Spectre's longevity kind of in there. But basically, once Sylvali goes down, there is nothing that stops me. There's literally nothing will stop me from clicking buttons against this team. Basically, if this thing gets behind a sub and Gardevoir's down and the Sylvali's down, this gets a sub and gets a nasty plight up, that's basically GG. Or if I start getting boost, basically with Dark Pulse and Shadow Ball, I'm basically claiming a KO every single time I'm in, which is very, very good. We are bringing Necrozma this week with Calm Mind, Photon Geyser, Heat Wave, and Moonlight, 160 HP, 132 special attack with the modest nature, 84 in the Spadef, 132 speed. Again, the speed is there, so that way I can counteract any zero speed invested mons, which very well could happen with things like the Sylvali, which can just be more of a defensive variation, be able to handle things like the Side Spectre. Now, if it is Sylvali Dark, he does have to be careful against some things like my Necrozma because of the axis of weakness policy, which is very, very logical for me to bring against a team like his. But with Photon Geyser plus Heat Wave, we basically hit everything we want. I was thinking of packing Hidden Power Fighting, but I would rather be able to hit and kind of keep this thing around for longevity's sake because if I start boosting, Gardevoir actually can't be able to handle this set very well. The best he can do is Hyper Voice or Mystical Fire me. But the problem is he just lets me get to set up free Calm Minds in front of his face, and then just basically doesn't. Again, if Sylvali Dark does come, Sylvali Dark is a problem. Again, I think of my team, Sylvali Dark doesn't really match up that well, where I have things like Mug and Umbreon that actually can just beat 1v1 and wall it, so there's that. But yeah, I expect this Necrozma set to really put in good work this game, so I'm really hoping it does the work. We're bringing Magear now, which is supposed to be Silver Bells. I hate it when I forget to do this. Silver Bell. There we go. We're bringing Silver Bell and Magina after not last week, but after week 2's destruction. Silver Bell is back and basically here to just want to claim alive, claim a KO every single time. We are running Trick Room Weakness Policy with Flash Cannon, Hidden Power Water, and Thunderbolt. Hidden Power Water is actually pretty good because it lets me hit things like Rotom, it lets me hit things like the Powdon. This is also a really good mon to kind of just sit in front of them as well and just click Flash Cannon for free Spadef drops and kind of threaten them out because Magearna under that can be really good. This is instantly going to be one of my relatively answers to things like Kyurem because basically if I get the Kyurem in and Kyurem is not specs and it's maybe really a Scarf or some type of variation or just at least shows that he has Earth Power and I get my Weakness Policy off and I can go ahead and just click Trick Room, basically his switchings basically become limited. Now, I do need to Powdon chipped in order for my weakness policy to pop. If it does, for +2 Hidden Power Water to knock it out. But regardless, this Mon kind of claims a KO. We are running Thunderbolt because that helps me deal with Skarmory. More likely, it's going to probably be more of a max Spadef, max HP Spadef Skarmory set, which is going to be very annoying, but it's going to be something we're going to have to deal with regardless. I also didn't name my Mammoth one. We are also running max HP, max special attack with the Quiet Nature with 4 and Spadef, 4 and Defeat. I also didn't need my Mamoswine. I am a bad Pokemon trainer because I'm not developing my bonds with my Pokemon. We are bringing Mamoswine this week. Tundra here with the Assault Vest. A very weird ring for me, I know, but I think this set actually can really help us. It's a relatively decent answer to switch into things like Kyurem, Mega Gardevoir, and stuff like that. Knockoff is pretty much spammable versus his team, which I can get rid of so many items. I can also figure out what his Z-Crystal users are right off the bat as well. Icicle Crash is pretty kind of spammable versus his team in that type of regard. Earthquake is really strong stab as well, and an Iron Head is there for Gardevoir, but I think actually I'm going to go ahead and replace that with Rock Slide at least. Actually, do I learn Stone Edge? Do I want to risk Stone Edge? I think I have to risk Stone Edge. So we're actually running Stone Edge over Iron Head because I just realized I can just go Crash with Earthquake. And Stone Edge is like a middle ground play because I can hit Roto on the switch in, which is good too. But we're at 160 HP, max attack, Adamant, 16 Spadef, 124 speed, like I said, for those base 45s with 0 speed investment. Giving Mamoswine some speed in this matchup, but it gets Mamoswine to be very, very offensive. I actually ran into an Assault Vest Mamoswine back in PMC week 3 against Iraz, And I looked back at that. I want to run that set this week. This thing, I think, I really put in the work. I expect Mammoth Swine to really put in some good game here, and I hope Mammoth Swine can actually put in the good work for us that we needed to do. So that's gonna be the team, guys. I'm hoping we pick up a win here and just keep the train moving. This is week 4, so very much nervous, very much scared, but hoping we can do better, hoping we can do great. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to join the Info Shocker crew today because you'll be feeling with the king of the crew. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Until next time, guys. Peace.